Hello everybody, today we're going to see the main takeaway or the main lessons that we need to take from the book Built to Last by Jim Collins and Jerry Porras. So this book is the most important and business books that I have ever read within the last week. I got some interesting point that I must share about to my audience in my channel. So I want to share you right now. So the first takeaway that I want to share you is what visionary companies, right? What are the visionary companies? How they're different from others? We're gonna see it, right? The book identified just certain companies as a visionary due to what? Their exceptional long-term success and ability to endure over time. How? Right? The first maybe identify visionary traits. Right, by identifying a visionary traits, maybe study companies identified a visionary in the book and not their common traits. You may need to note their common traits, right? The other may be a benchmark practice, right? The benchmark practice, that means compare your company practice with those of visionary companies, right? And also you may need to identify the gap in the area of improvement, right? You may need to just compare your companies from the visionary companies, and you may have the chance to identify the gap, right? That you need to make it right fail, right? So the third point that help to visionary companies to adopt long-term thinking, right? You may need to adopt a long-term thinking. That means shift focus from just short-term gains to long-term success and sustainability, right? You may need to do all that. So for example, just visionary companies like Johnson and Johnson, IBM and 3M maybe discuss what makes them visionary and how other companies can emulate these traits, right? There are a lot of big companies that are visionary, like Microsoft and SpaceX. By just implementing that to your business, you may have the chance to identify the gap, and you may need to instill or emulate the strategies, right? The second takeaway that we need to take from this book is Built to Last is what? Clock building, not time telling, right? Clock building. That means what? Visionary companies focus on what? Building enduring institutions rather than just achieving short-term success, right? How they are doing this all stuff? The first may be building strong foundation. By building a strong foundation, develop systems, processes, and structures that support long-term growth and sustainability, right? By doing all this stuff, they build strong foundation. The other, they may need to invest in infrastructure. They are going to invest in infrastructure or assets, right? That means allocate resources to build a capability that will last, right? Such as maybe talent development, maybe technology infrastructure, all those stuff that are gonna help them to being able to do more and more. All right. So the third point that help them is avoid short-term fixes, right? They don't need to fix short-term problems. They don't need to short-term shortages, maybe short-term just a lot of stuff. They don't need, right? They are avoiding short-term fixes. They maybe resist the temptation to make a decision based on short-term gains. They need to prioritize actions that will benefit the company in the long run, right? That is right. The third point that we need to take from this book is core ideology, right? You have to implement a core ideology. That means maybe successful companies have a core ideology that guides their action and decisions, right? So this includes core values and a sense of what purpose, or the sense of purpose bound, this includes core values and sense of purpose beyond just making money, right? Beyond making money, right? How? Maybe they may define core values, right? Engage leaders and employers in identifying the core values that represent the company belief and behaviors. As other may be articulate purpose, right? maybe clearly articulate the company missions and purpose beyond profitability. They may embed ideology, right? By ensuring the core ideology is embedded in all aspects of the business, from hiring practice to strategic decision, right? All this stuff helps you to just have a good core ideology, right? So maybe the fourth takeaway that we need to take is cult-like cultures, right? Cult-like cultures. That means visionary companies often just have a strong, unique culture that attract and retain employees who are what? Deeply committed to the company's mission, right? How they implement this, right? Maybe by creating unique culture, right? Developing a culture that reflects the company's core values and missions, use ritual, stories, and symbolic for to reinforce it, right? They may need to use all this stuff, right? They may need to hire for fixed fit, right? Hire for fit. That means maybe they prioritize hiring individuals who align with the company's culture and values, right? And also they may need to foster commitment, right? Create a program and initiatives that encourage employees engagement and commitment to the company's mission, right? By doing this all, they may have a good culture, right, in the organization. The fifth takeaway that we take from this is what? Preserve the core, stimulate progress, right? So visionary companies what? Maintain a strong core ideology while also being open to just change and innovation, right? So how they are going to implement this, right? Maybe they need to balance stability and change, right? Develop a strategy that allows the company to stay true to its core values while just encouraging innovation and adaptation, right? So that is the other they may need to promote innovation. They may need to promote innovation. That means create an environment where new maybe ideas are encouraged and maybe need to test it without compromising core values, right? So the other may be a regular reviewing, right? Periodically review the company's practice to just ensure alignment with core values and to identify areas for progress, right? So this is right. The other one is the sixth takeaway that you need to take is what? Big, hurry, audacious goal, right? Big, hurry, audacious goal. That means successful companies set ambitious long-term goals that inspire and motivate employees, right? But how they're implementing this, right? Maybe they need to define what? Just the big, hairy, audacious goals. They need to define it, right? Identify the borders, maybe long-term goals that are clear, compelling, and challenging, right? To announcing the employees, right? They're gonna make it, right? And they need to communicate goals, right? All the time, right? Clearly communicating this big, audacious, hairy, audacious goals to all employees to ensure alignment and motivation, right? And also the may align action, right? Ensure that strategy plan and daily action align with just achieving a big, hairy, audacious goals, right? By doing all this stuff, they became a lot. They became just big, right? The seven takeaways that we need to take from this book is what? Try a lot of stuff and keep what works, right? You may need to try a lot of stuff, but keep what works well. That means visionary companies experiment with new ideas and strategies, learning from both success and failures, right? So how they implement this strategy, how they do this, right? They may encourage experimentation, right? Encouraging experimentation, always trying new strategies, always trying new ideas, right? That means creating culture where experimentation and learning from failure are encouraged, right? And also you may need to pilot projects. That means test a lot of projects. That means test new ideas on a small scale before a full implementation is done, right? And you may need to monitor results and make a data-driven decisions, right? That is right. And also the other is learn and adopt, right? You may need to learn and adopt, right? Continuously learn from experimentation and adopt strategies based on what works, what works, right? So the eighth principle that works is what? Homegrown management, right? Homegrown management, right? Not many successful companies tends to develop their own leaders internally rather than just rely on outside hires, right? So how they implement these, right? Homegrown management. How? The first is what? Identify potential leaders, right? You have to identify the potential leaders. That means you develop a system for identifying and just nurturing potential leaders within the organization, right? Fucking organization, right? The other may be provide development opportunities, right? Providing, giving opportunity to develop the employees, develop them, right? Offering training, mentorship, and leadership development programs to cultivate internal talents, right? That is. So the other may be promote from within, right? That means prioritize promoting existing employees to leadership position to maintain continuity and continuous, right? Continuity and culture, right? That is as the 9 principle that we need to take from this book is what? Good enough is never. Good enough never is that, right? And you're not good enough still, right? Keep growing all time. That means visionary companies strive for continuous improvement and are never satisfied with the status quo, right? They always learn, they always improve, they always try, they always do the stuff, right? They never growing up, right? How they do this, right? The first maybe foster a culture of excellence, right? By fostering culture of excellence, that means encourage what? Employees to strive for excellence in all aspects of their work, right? And the other may be what? Set higher standards, setting higher standards. That means what? Regularly raise performance standard and expectations, right? And the other may be continuous improvement, continuously learning, right? You may need to implement processes for continuous improvement, such as maybe regular feedback, performance review, and process optimization, right? You may need all this stuff, right? So you may need to use examples of companies that embody the principle of continuous improvement, right? You may need to discuss the methods for fostering culture of excellence and continuous improvement. By those stuff, you can encourage your employees to do the same, to continuously learn, always learn, right? And also the 10th takeaway that the last and the 10th takeaway that we need to take from this book is what? Build to last. Right, build to last. That means the ultimate lesson is that what? Visionary companies are built to endure over the long term, adapted to change in the market while remaining true, right, to their core value and purpose, right? That is how they are going to develop the build to last principle, right? The first one is maybe long-term planning, by planning for long run, right? That means develop a strategic plan with a focus on long-term sustainability and what success, right? That is. And also the other may be adaptability, right? They may need to adapt, right? Stay flexible and open to change, right? Continuously monitoring the market and adjusting strategies as needed, right? And also you may need to core ideologies. You may have to have a core ideology. That means maintain a strong core ideology to just guide decision and action and ensure consistency and purpose, right? That is. So by this you can use for your company to grow more and more, to lead more effectively, right? This is the best book I have ever read in the last week, so I really recommend you to read at least one times more than that. Thank you being you watch it till the end right now. Thank you.